Hey guys, it's Kristen McGee, and I'm so excited to be here today on Health's Facebook Live. We are going to do a 10-minute beginner Pilates routine. This is amazing, especially for someone like myself who's a new mom. I just gave birth to twins 2 months ago. And for anyone actually who just wants to get their core muscles really strong and feel that connection to the transverse. The transverse abdominals are our deepest layer of muscle, and what we really want to do is lead every activity from there. They support us, they give us good posture, they help us with all that twisting exercise. And Joseph Pilates' famous quote is, "You're only as young as your spine is flexible." And that deep transverse core muscle is what makes our spine nice and long. So not only does Pilates get you long and lean, but it really gets that core muscle activated. So let's get started in a nice, tall, comfortable seat. What I want you to do is just feel the connection to your pelvic floor muscles and the transverse abdominals. I think of them like a corset, right? Like you're really hugging the midline from within. So if you are pregnant or you're postnatal, think of that feeling that you had when you hug your baby to your spine. And if you're just not pregnant or not postnatal, again, feel that kind of connection of almost wearing a wetsuit, like you're zipping up something really tight and hugging everything in. We're going to inhale a breath through the nose. And then in Pilates, you exhale out the mouth. And again, you find that connection, pelvic floor muscles, lower abdominals, ribs coming towards each other, but at the same time, shoulders staying soft. Inhale a breath through the nose, and then exhale. Feel that nice core connection. Almost get that little shaky shake as you lift the pelvic floor muscles. One more time, inhale through the nose, and then exhale out the mouth. And feel all of that gathering in and getting nice and connected. Now from here, keep that connection. Come onto your mat with your feet hip-width apart, your tailbone nice and long, lengthening up out of your lower back. Inhale a breath, and same idea. Connect to the pelvic floor, scoop out your lower abs, and subtly round back so that you feel that deep connection in the lower abdominals. Keep the shoulders soft. Come back up to sit tall. Don't let your ribs pop open. Keep gathering everything in. Top of the head to the ceiling, inhale a breath, exhale, scoop, tuck under the tailbone, draw in the lower abs, engage the pelvic floor, and come back up to sit tall. Excellent. One more time, inhale, and then exhale, scoop, hollow it out, keep pressing your big toe mounds down into the mat. Now I just want you to go down a little and up a little, down a little and up a little. And this is all from those lower abs. Really concentrate, really scoop and hollow. Try and lengthen out of your lower back, but find that nice little C curve. So from the belly button to the spine, from the abdominals, I'm just going down a little and up a little, down a little and up a little. You got two more, down and lift. Last one, down and hold here. Now from here, if you need to use your hands on the back of your thighs, feel free. If you don't need to use your hands, just find that connection again, belly button to spine, lower abs, and try and slowly lower yourself down to the mat. Now once you're down on the mat, keep your knees bent, feet flat on the mat. Find a nice neutral spine, and you can do that by taking some pelvic tilts. So you arch your back quite a bit, let your pubic bone move towards your feet or towards the mat, and you find a little bit of arch, and then you tuck and scoop your abdominals in, and you feel a little bit of a tuck where your hips come up a tiny bit. So you're going to inhale, arch, exhale, tuck, and this is good for the abdominals as well. So you inhale, arch, try not to let your ribs splay. Exhale, tuck. Now find a position between those two extremes. So you're not overly arched, you're not overly tucked. You're just in neutral. And it's as if you could balance a glass of water here on your lower abdominals. And you think of knitting a little seat belt from hip rim to hip rim. Keep pressing the back of your ribs into the floor. Keep your shoulders soft. And from your lower abdominals, see if you can lift your right foot just an inch. And then place it back down. Really nice. Don't let the hips move. Lift your left foot just an inch, nothing else but that foot barely lifts and lowers down. I want you to think of it lifting from your core. Engage the pelvic floor, lower abs, lift the right foot. Pelvic floor, lower abs to lift the left foot. And this should be really challenging. Now I want you to try both feet. If it feels like you get any tension in your lower back, back off and just go to one foot at a time. Otherwise, see if you can lift both feet and lower down, nice. And you'll feel where the core really starts to get nice and involved as you lift and lower. Now try this. Lift both feet up and only lift from your knees to your feet into a tabletop. So then you still have that abdominal connection, and you're really focusing on the transverse here as you tap one foot to the mat and lift, and then tap the other foot to the mat and lift. Try not to feel this in your hip flexors. Keep the pelvic floor engaged, lower abs really active here. Tap and lift. If you keep pressing the back of your ribs into the mat, you'll stay connected to your core muscles. Left foot, and then one more time, right foot. One more time, left foot. Now we're going to do an excellent exercise that's a very traditional Pilates move. It's called the 100. You lift your head and neck up and stretch your arms forward. Again, if this is too challenging, you can always do it with both feet flat on the mat. You can also do it with one hand behind the head if you feel neck issues, and you can alternate hands because we're going to be pumping the arms 5 times on an inhale and 5 times on an exhale. So if you did one arm, then you would just switch and then do the other side. Both arms are here pumping, and you want shoulders down away from the ears, and you really want to feel like nothing moves but the arms. So you can feel it here. You can also feel it here with the legs and tabletop. If you're more advanced, you can start to extend your legs out. So let's start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. For 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. For 4. Exhale. For 5. And exhale. Great. Halfway there. For 6. And exhale. Keep the shoulders soft for 7. And exhale. Keep that neutral pelvis, neutral spine for 8. And exhale. Chin to chest for 9. Belly button to the spine. Last one. You got this for 10. And exhale. And lower down. Really nice. Give yourself a hug. Soften your lower back. Rock a little side to side. Take a knee in each hand. Just circle out the hip flexors. It's hard when you're starting Pilates to not overuse the neck or to overuse the hip flexor region. Again, we're just trying to concentrate on the core muscles, those deep transverse abdominals. So the next exercise is single leg circle. I want you to extend your left leg long, take your right leg up to the ceiling. If your hamstrings are really tight, you can place the left foot on the mat. You're going to draw a circle on the ceiling with the right leg, going over to the left, out to the right, back up to center, and stop. Now, while you do this, I don't want your hips to wobble. So keep the back of the ribs pressing into the floor. Keep the lower abdominals engaged. Circle for 2 and for 1. Now we go the opposite direction. Go out, crossover, up, out, crossover, lift. Feel the inner thigh connected to the pelvic floor. 3 and 4, shoulders soft. And 5. Now walk up the back of the thigh a little bit, and here again you'll feel those lower abdominals. If you're more advanced, you can always try and come all the way up to sit. But in the beginning, if you're just working it out or you're newer to the Pilates, come up, hold here, and then lower it down, and try one more. Lift it up, lower it down, and give your hamstring a nice stretch. And then release that leg all the way long, and you'll notice it feels like it's longer than the other side, maybe even an inch longer. And then we're going to take the left leg up. If the hamstrings are tight, bend the right knee, place the foot on the floor. Soften the shoulders, keep the ribs together. Circle to the right, around left, up, center. 2, and lift. Keep those hips planted. 3, and 4, and 5. Now stop and reverse it. 5, 4, shoulders down, 3, 2, and 1. Now from the lower abdominals, pelvic floor region, see if you can use your abs to lift you up. Keep the shoulders down. Come back down. Walk it up. Think of knitting the ribs together, bringing the ribs towards the hips. Walk it down one more time. Belly button to spine. Walk it up. And give your hamstring a nice stretch. And then let that leg go all the way down to the floor, and you'll feel length in both of the hip flexors. We'll go into the roll-up. This one's really difficult. This is a challenging one for me as a new mom. I feel like I've lost some of that abdominal connection here. So we're going to start with the arms to the ceiling. Keep the shoulders down away from the ears. Draw your ribs into the mat. Inhale, start to round up. So if you get to this position, you might have to use your hands behind your legs to help you get up a little higher. Then you straighten out your legs, scoop in your abs, reach over your legs. And then slowly start to come down, one vertebra at a time, and then take the arms overhead. Inhale to come up. So it's right here is where I start to feel like I'm stuck. So you might have to Give yourself a nice little boost. Use your hands behind your thighs. Reach. And then this descent is like a pull-up. So if you can't do the first part of the pull-up phase, you get yourself above the bar, and then you work yourself down. And that actually starts to build up the strength in those lower abdominals. Reach and lower. But the roll-up is such a great exercise for the transverse abdominals to feel that core connection. We're going to do one more here. Inhale. Hold as you need to. And exhale. Come up, we're going to try one last exercise. It's called rolling like a ball. Scoot a little forward, hold on to the fronts of your ankles. Again, like we started with just those little half rollbacks. That's where you're feeling it in the lower abdominals, going back a little, forward a little. And then eventually you can go all the way back to the shoulders and use the abs to rock back up. Like a little egg. Keep the shoulders down, rock back, rock up. One more, rock back. Rock up. In the final test, see if you can take your legs back out to that tabletop position, stretch your arms forward, a little mini teaser, hold here for a breath, inhale, and again, if it's too challenging, take one foot down on the floor or both, but just feel that nice lift and length out of the lower abs, and release. Great job. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have any questions, let me know, and I hope to see you all again soon.